All right, hello. This is going to be both a 6-month follow-up on my Stier steering wheel and a warranty fix. For those who have followed along with my sim racing, they know that one of the switch that's in here died 2 months or 3 months after I had it. I ended up taking this one and putting it over on this side. So this is actually the dead one now, just because I'm still using this side. I've adjusted my button settings to just make up for it. But Stier support, excellent guys. Talked to them, was able to. They were more than happy to send a replacement. I happened to mention that when I took it apart, I lost a couple of the little. They have little like plastic rubber washer things in there. I, to the life of me, had no idea where one of them went, and they're like, yeah, we'll throw a couple in there too. So I knew that the switch itself had died. For anyone that's familiar with Rock Band or Guitar Hero switches from back in the days when we played those, the strum part uses these two momentary switches. And those of us that played a lot of those games got very good at replacing those because they just randomly die sometimes. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this apart. And as I take it apart, we'll just talk about the wheel. So let's do that. First off, got to say this thing, it is a tank. This is the version 1, the original Kickstarter version that came out. The version they're making now is V2. My understanding is that they've addressed a lot of the complaints. The grips are a bit thicker. They're a bit wider for us North American big boys. The biggest complaint people have had is with the rotaries on the V1. They're a little too soft. Like they're not clicky enough for a lot of us, and they're not the best at picking up the clicks. So you can't quickly rotate it like that. It'll miss clicks. So you have to like click it slowly to make it. Not a big change when, so I use mine for fuel maps and for brake balance. Only need to go up and down just a little bit here and there. And fuel maps is something you only really play with under caution anyway. So the new version apparently has much stiffer and clickier rotaries. Cool. I think they made a few other minor tweaks, but those were the two main ones. And yeah, unfortunately, my one of my others, if you've watched my original video, I said that the cord it comes with is just too stiff. Unfortunately, it still uses that cord. I feel this cord it's not rubbery enough. It's more hard rubber or hard plastic than rubber. So it never wants to. Well, actually, maybe if I just spend a couple hours pulling it apart like this, it'll stay wide. I don't know. But let's get down to it. Other than that, this thing is awesome. Awesome. I love any wheel you buy. If you're going to go to a screen, I fully support this. The whole sim hub having I'm a big proponent of not being proprietary, not being stuck in the Fanatec ecosystem or the Logitech ecosystem where you can only use their stuff. I mean, the dude that I found that he makes if you've ever watched my videos, you know that I do a lot of IndyCar. He developed a screen specifically for iRacing. It auto detects which car you're driving and auto loads the screen that car uses. It's amazing. You get yourself into the generic, the sim hub, the stuff that's open source, and you open up a world of the guys that want to fix all that stuff and make it better. So yeah, we got it from the slow boat from China. It came, well, technically Hong Kong, but yeah, they threw a couple screws in, a couple of these tiny little rubber washers. Awesome. And they were like, no, we'll just give you a whole new switch. When I take the original one apart, I'll show that the part that died, it is really just a $3 switch. It, as I said, if you play Guitar Hero or Rock Band, you've had those fail on you before. So, for those that don't want to see someone take apart a sim wheel, skip to the end. Here we go. So these are just, this is basically you can use this as a how to take apart this stuff. I've already done it once when I was troubleshooting, just trying to figure out what was wrong. And as soon as I saw the momentary switch in there, I was like, I've got an entire bin full of those. Well, not this size, bigger ones from the Rock Band stuff. All right, so in the design of them, you can see basically this little screw here is a bar that goes across, and that controls how far down your switch goes. So you can basically make it even lower, make it even higher to control how far down you want to be able to pull it. And both the shifter and the secondary top ones have the same design. They can go up and down to however you want your throw. And that's the same. If you notice, this screw here has where I've taken it out now, you can see it has 2 different settings for whether you want it parallel, like the shifter would be, or in the case of the top ones, I've got it in the uppermost, which puts it at more of an angle to get it out of the way. So while you're racing, you can very clearly tell between these 2 shifts because it's at completely different. They're at, ignoring the fact that they're, the shift itself is, but they're even at 2 different heights. That's how I like to have it. So I just threw a random washer in there to fix it for now. So getting this out, the 2 magnets, one on the top, one on the bottom, are what is currently holding these 2 pieces together. So all you have to do is just grab it and pull, and it comes apart. Ugh. And then just poke the magnet out and get it out of the way. Put it somewhere safe. And now now you can see there is the little switch, the momentary switch. And you can hear it. It still makes the click, which is weird. Normally when these die, at least from the Rock Band versions, a much bigger switch, but same idea. This will be stuck down, or it won't make a clicky noise anymore, which means the little spring inside is broken. Something else has gone wrong on this one. We weren't able to figure out what, and it didn't really matter. So you can see on the bottom one is a double magnet, and I think it's actually got like a little rubber spacer in between just to keep them from, so we'll also put those out of the way, but far away from the other magnet. And now we get into the fun part. So inside here, now you can see this little momentary switch is soldered to this little circuit board. So I just said, hey guys, just send me the new circuit board with the switch. And I'm going to assume that they just get them like this, and that's much easier for them. They were like, no, we'll just send you the whole thing. So just carefully pull out and that was of course after we tested to make sure. Basically we switched them, as part of the testing, we switched them around just to see if maybe if it was the switch that was dead, or maybe the wire or the connection inside. But when we switched them, the one that was working kept on working on the other side. So that's when we knew it was the switch or the circuit board. There we go. So we got that disconnected. Now it should I think this is the small. That's the wrong size. All right, now we get to find the right size. I cannot, $15 on Amazon. Best purchase you can make. if you're someone that putters around with this type of stuff, it doesn't even matter what it is. You never know when you need these kind of things. There we go. Oh, wow, I guessed right the first time. That's... All right, so we'll put that over back in its spot. All right, so 1 screw. 2 screw. All 3 of these screws are the same size. I love it when that type of stuff, like, I hate when, if you've taken apart various electronics and you're like, it has 6 screws, they all look identical head-wide, like from the top, and then you pull one out and it's twice as long as all the rest. And then you have to keep track of which one that was. All right, so now we'll just carefully pull this away to make sure we don't let the wire fall inside the... You don't want it to fall back inside there because then you're going to have to use tweezers or something to try and pull it back out. So that's it. We got that out of the way. And you can see I still had one of the rubber washers, and for the other one I was just using a random piece of metal washer that I could find. But we won't be doing that anymore because now we have new washers. All right. Oh, well, I've just noticed it came with the wire already attached, and I'm certainly not taking this entire thing apart. So I think what we're going to do is take this one apart and unplug it. So we'll put the screws for that and the screws for this here. Keep everything organized. Same thing as before. We're just going to take we were going to have to take these out anyway because, as you can see, this switch is set to the horizontal position, and I'm going to want this on the angled, the slider up position. All right, so again, you can see those two rubber washers. Carefully lift this up, and you can see they start to slide, and they're as soon as it comes up, they try and they fly away. As I said, I don't know how they flew away last time, how I lost one last time, but they're not just washers. Other one right there. They actually sit in the little hole right there. That keeps them in place. Very handy. All right, so we got that apart. So now we can just take this out. That is the wrong... Come on. Don't make me pull it. Oh, I was going to say, don't make me pull out the tweezers. And then back in. Probably going to have to pull out the tweezers just to reconnect this. So this should only go in one way. I mean, red was on the right, but these are always, you can see, don't know if you can see, but the pinholes are on the top of this connector. So if you did have it flipped around, it wouldn't go in anyway, because the pinhole, the receiver pinholes in this would be on the bottom if you had it backwards. Most connectors in electronics are like that. You can't really screw them up. There's always only one way they go in. And anyone that uses a connector that can go both ways is a madman. Or they love having warranty work. I need my tweezers. These might be... I do not have tiny person hands, so tweezers make it way easier. All right, there we go. And we will put it back together before... No, we have to screw it in before you put everything back together, Craig. That's how things work. Again, other than this one switch going wrong, I've had no troubles with this wheel. I mean, they do give you the warning in advance that the screen itself pulls a lot of power, pretty much as the USB ports can give, to the point where they just recommend get yourself a hub, a self-powered hub. Stier themselves, of course, sell one. They would love you to buy it. I'm not going to say don't, but they also say, any powered hub will work. It's not like they're saying our hub is the best hub. look. All right, we'll put that one over there. Yeah, good, it collected itself. Excellent. There, now it will really get out of the way. This is like watching those guys that do like motherboard repairs and random computer parts repairs. Steve Fix or Northridge Fix. I mean, Northridge basically, if you watch his YouTube channel, he's basically 100% GPUs all the time. But so there's a guy, Steve Fix, Stev Fix, British guy. I love him. He fixes all sorts of random things. I will never pretend I can solder like those guys solder. It's their ability to get into small places. Greg, it's the same 3 screws. Why won't it go in? Not lining it up exactly perfectly here. And the magnet. Nice thing about this, it gets bigger. All right. Let's try this again with more things out of the way. Why is that not going in? Oh, you didn't just do that. Yeah, the screw went down the hole. Just like that. I am not hearing it rattle. Did it actually go down the hole? All right, get yourself set back up again. New switch. It is not on this magnet. It is nowhere in here. Didn't go under the plastic bag. It's not on that. Always check the other magnets, because that'll be, there it is, right there. Always check the magnets. Just like that. As soon as I was shook it and I didn't hear it rattling, I knew it couldn't be inside there, because it would be rattling around otherwise. All right. So, all right, I've convinced myself. Those 3 all, I'm just not screwing them in. You need to screw them in perfectly straight. And I'm obviously not screwing them in perfectly straight. So let's start over. This is the part where you skip. Do-do. Back in, perfect. I don't want to have to pull that bar out of the way. Back thread it a couple times and then in. Oh, that's a plan. Just like that. Okay. One is in. I was obviously not getting them in perfectly straight. Two is in. Just getting them started. There we go. Now we can screw them all down tight. All right, there we go. Makes the all-important clicky noise. So, first thing you need to do is put that magnet back, because once we put this down, you won't be able to get it back in there. And now the magnet's just stuck to the metal bar that goes across. But we don't need to worry about this magnet till the end. So, with our 2 screws and 2 Nito washers. So we're going to stick, as I showed before, horizontal is the lower, and on an angle like this one is on the upper of these 2 screw holes as far as where the upper stop is. So we're going to move it to the top one. That's not where that goes. Don't lose it. Oh, I see what I've done. You can see it as well. I pinched that, I didn't put the, hopefully, we haven't pinched it, no. But we got to take it all out. This is what happens when you're not a professional. Okay, double check, everything's fine. They just got pinched, but they didn't get cut. Yep. Put them back in. Get in there. Get in there. It's nice that they, you can tell that these guys are like hand building this stuff, because they make it, with enough extra wire to be able to pull out and be able to work on it and put it back. It's not like robots are building these where, you save a trillionth of a cent by making the wire only exactly as long as it needs to be type thing. As far as the support goes from these guys, yeah, as I said, it was good. Admittedly, I sent an email initially to them and didn't hear back. It was their Reddit support guy that I talked to, and he is super helpy. They have a good presence on their Reddit forum. Yep, that's a good magnet. All right, so we're back to this step. And yeah, as I said, he just had me switch them around to confirm that it was just the switch and not anything internal. And at that point, he was like, give me your address. We'll throw something in the mail. It came in this adorable box with a million stamps on it. Admittedly, it did get lost in China for a month, but that might be due to all the weird tariffs and stuff that are going on right now. Ordering from over in Asia is always fun, because some things, I'm always surprised when I order something from over there and it shows up 2 days later. It's like I have no understanding of how that happened. And you just sort of get used to the 6 weeks, 6 to 8 week wait that I don't get. That's how easy these rubber things are. Very insistent on not. I think what I'll do is I'll just stick this screw in there for now. That way it won't go anywhere. So there, we've just learned a tip. Now that's got me thinking, maybe if I just get it lined up. That is going to be a pain. We will do this with tweezers. Admittedly, it was January or so when I took this apart the first time, so I don't really remember. There we go. We've got it in. And that one in. So we've got both. Now we've got to just carefully take the... There we go. So we've got both of them. There we go. So it's going down in between. Now it's locked in. We don't need to worry about it. So we can get this set up. Sticking it in of the two holes, we're going to stick it in the upper one and just sort of move it that up and down until we find the spot it's supposed to go to. So that's its lock to mean it's the most this will go up, and that's what makes this side be at that not 90-degree angle. And we just do the same on this side. It'll probably be easier to just do this. Yep. And then screwdriver, because I have big fingers. You sort of get used to everything here is magnetic. That's what makes these shifts good. So there. Now, as soon as we stick the magnet in here, perfect. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's now fixed, but we need I really like how they've done the shifts, how they've done the carbon fiber things, where this shifter has the 2 lines, it's this shape, this has the 3 lines, different shape. You don't want to be looking at your wheel while you're driving. All right, how did I have this one? On an angle like that is how I liked it. Just matchy. since we're here, may as well give everything their 6-month Titan. The dual clutches. And there we go. Oh, so there's the one difference. So the throw on this one is much longer, and you can see, you control the throw by where this bar, if you can see the bar that's down there, is controlled by the height of these screws. And there's one on each side. And you can see on this side, it's set much lower by default. Admittedly, while these are on, it's a bit of a pain in the butt to adjust. Oh, there we go. Well, that was actually insanely easy. I didn't expect it to, because the other side also came up. Oh, I think that's good enough for me. You can get in here and... Ugh, this is the side that's impossible. I've tried adjusting these while they're on before, and it is a nightmare. I'm super happy that I'm not even going to do it. Just tighten this, make sure it's good and tight. Make sure it's even, which it is. And there we are. All right, let's connect this back up. So there's only one way to connect this, even though the 4 pins look identical down here. The plastic part itself is completely slotted. It's got 2 flat parts on this side, 1 groove on this side. So you can just sort of stick this in and rotate, and it'll only snap in one way. Right there. You can feel as you rotate this around, bang. These are type of cable locks you see on professional equipment that can't come apart. Computer equipment. All right. Let's see. You won't be able to see the screen at first, but I will take it over to my computer or to my sim rig after I'm done this. But I want to do my first test here at my bench. Properties. Right one is number 12. Left one is number 11. Beautiful. She lights up. Yes. Perfect. Everything else still works. Clutches still work. Button, 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 button. That'll be one thing I'll say is when you put these on, make sure you clean the heck out of everything and stick them on really, really. I have stuck this radio button on now twice, and I don't know if it's how I know it's how. It's because my foot and hand is over here, and so when I push it, I'm pushing this direction, and you can see I'm rubbing the radio off the button. That is a thing to deal with later. All right, let's take her over to the sim rig. All right, so now we're in the rig. We are at Indianapolis in the IndyCar. That's where iRacing is this week, so that just makes sense to do it. So we qualified on pole. So this is fully customizable. I have it set so when I'm not in the car, the screen is not on. As soon as I hop into the car and turn on the car, boom, we have a screen. We have our screen. That is like SimHub, as far as, because it's open source and everything, it's fully customizable. As I said, YOOP, YOEP is the guy that does these dashes for iRacing. I think his thing works for, like, good luck, everyone.
Yeah, nice lap there, Craig. Good luck, guys.
So I use one of my funky switches to change my black box. Of course, you can't see the black box because The steering wheel is on the right, but I use that to set up my pit. You will notice iRacing updated their dashboards recently. For the IndyCar, it's the modern, I guess the McLaren version of the dashboard. The one that I use is the old version on the wheel. I refuse to update because I've been looking at this version of the dashboard for years. And I am used to the front ARB being the first one. And in how McLaren does it, the front ARB is the second one. It's completely backwards. I can't wrap my mind around it. Anyway, as far as the wheel goes, I mean, again, this thing is just rock solid. Use my brake balance. I've now got my weight jacker up one, weight jacker down one. I've got my switches back the way I like them. I won't go all the way up to the outside wall and take his air away. That's not nice on the first lap.
Encerrada.
So the nice thing in SimHub is like the lights and everything are all customizable. So you have to set up when your lights turn blue and things based on the RPMs. It doesn't just get those. So you can adjust them, have them different than how the sim itself has them. Help Wes come up. Race with a lot of these guys all the time. Wes clipped the apron right there. Again, the wheel is just built like a tank. I do a lot of league racing. This is an actual iRacing official race, so the aggressiveness is a lot higher. It's a shorter race. But I'm just going to use this to show. I mean, technically, I think I've had.
Be faster if we swap, but all right.
And that is why I just decided to fall back. I'll beat these guys in the pits. Again, you can see the weight jacker position moving back to how I like it.
There's code brown moment number 1 for this race.
So yeah, that's the one thing I don't. Yeah, oh yeah, you can see the fuel maps on the iRacing wheel that I'm using the thing. You can see it does work. It's just it's not as firm a click, which apparently the newer version, as I said earlier, the newer version has a wheel with a firmer click. Where are we here? How many laps? Too early to go in. Nope. Actually, this also gives a really good indicator of you can see between the two dashboards how much has changed. Eventually, iRacing will implement the hybrid system. They haven't yet. You can see that the new dashboard has regen. It has all the stuff for the hybrid, but they haven't. So the graphically it's in place, but they haven't implemented the hybrid yet. So until that happens, I can get away with the old dashboard. I have to admit, I mean, this is a Formula One based wheel. Even in the IndyCar, I don't use all the rotator. I could set them up to do stuff. It's just there's nothing I commonly do in the car that, there aren't different modes and all that type of stuff. As far as iRacing goes, it only detects any of these type of things as like a +1, a -1, a click forward, a click back. So, where the dash, whip, rain, and you would have it know I'm in rain, now I'm in dash or whatever. That doesn't work quite that way for iRacing. That's just how an iRacing thing. But all of this stuff is crazy customizable. Cat fur on my nose. All right. fuel map 1, first gear. And I will just nope out of all of this. I like living.
Good job.
Well, you might want to skip ahead to the end.
This car's out of 2.
So because this is only a 50 lap race, Indy cars generally go 30 to 33, 34 laps on a tank of fuel here at Indy. We're just outside the pit window. Not going out. Don't want to lose the track position in a race this short. Actually, this is, the new IndyCar dashboard doesn't have 2 screens. The old dashboard does, so I can show that. So this dial I have set to change. You can see the average laps. It shows between the 2 screens the difference in settings. So that's how you just can program these guys. But again, this is just a left or right type screen.
Where you been, Craig? I hadn't seen you around in a while.
It has been a busy summer. Lots of league racing, but not as much official, that's for sure.
Yeah, I hear that. It's going by quick, though.
He is right. It's already July. Oh, I should hit my button. I think it's 9. So who knows when I'm going to get this video up. All right. So we're going to be 36 to go at the line. So the next caution, we're coming in. Everyone's going to come in. Change my fuel map. And see, it went up to 1, dropped down to 2, where the detents are just not quite perfect. Because it's not enough, it's not a firm enough click in the version 1 of the wheel. It's not world ending, it's just something that you know, if you're going to nitpick. That's why they just took all the feedback and made a version 2. I see guys wobbling all around behind us. They're going to leapfrog.
Oh, easy, easy. If you will go unless you pass. Come on, go, man.
So we'll get by Pierre at some point here, probably by passing him on the outside, something he won't be expecting. Matter of deciding when. Gotta watch your arrow wash when you're behind someone in the IndyCar on the ovals. So I was losing my front downforce and understeering up to the outside wall.
¿Pudiste pasar? Sí, sí, ya ves.
Good job, dumbass.
You good, Karen, you good. You can go left.
So that's where most guys are extremely uncomfortable running the outside. I'm fine with it. So where Gonzalo was just letting me know he wasn't going to understeer up into me, which is the main reason why you don't want to be on the outside. Is if you're driving against someone who's just not as experienced in these type of cars, they'll understeer into you because they're just used to like down to the apron, understeer out to the outside wall. But when you've got a car to your outside, you can't understeer out to the outside wall. You've got to, crack your throttle, lift a bit. Some guys won't, though. When do I want to come in? This lap. At Indy, you won't lose a lap pitting in the Indy car. You'll come out about 5 seconds ahead of everyone. So I'm just going to try and utilize this clean air. If those guys don't leapfrog and instead just like argy-bargy fight each other, we might even make time up. know I will. Oh, are they leapfrogging? Down to 6 seconds from 6.1. Disappointed no one else decided to come with me. Because if I had someone else, we'd be leapfrogging right now. Oh, 5.9. That's... Alright, they're on lap 30. Might get 4 more before they finally have to pit. Lost 0.3 of a second. They are leapfrogging. Now instead we want a caution. They'd all have to pit. We'd get to stay out. We'd inherit the lead.
Pitting.
Okay, time to push.
So ideally, I get Wes up here, so that the guys that are these guys that are come out in third and fourth don't get his draft, because otherwise that puts all of us back up here, and I would rather just have 2 of us fighting. Come on, Wes, go. He's got my draft. He's just got to break the draft of the guy behind.
No, no hagas esa guarrada, eh.
Try again. Douglas not take tires. .4, he's just on the edge. 1.3. All right, Wes is up to him. Ah, he's got me. Okay, my crew chief is very judgy. I'm struggling. That's just, I don't know this fix setup well enough. Need more laps on it. Argy bargy's happening in front of us. Three wide at Indy rarely ends well for anyone. It brings me right back up here though. Matt almost died.
¡Ey!
¿Ya qué?
Quédate en tu línea. Si te tiras a la izquierda, te queda a la izquierda. No vuelvas si no... coche.
Tú eres el que no... Tú eres el que no estás haciendo línea, que estás por lo verde y todo.
Someone's gonna die. Let's hope we don't get caught up in it.
Sounds spicy up there.
¡Te estoy diciendo que te quedes en en tu puta línea,
Ah.
¿no entiendes, tío? Si estás a la izquierda, te quedas a la izquierda. Si no tienes espacio, no te mueves.
Guys are idiots. Swear to God.
Buah, el reporte que te vas a llevar, tío.
Man, I would have avoided that if the car hadn't blinked for a second and I didn't know where it was.
There's another 100 I rating due to somebody being a fucking idiot.
Oh,
Should have known that when they all started speaking that other language back and forth to each other.
so yeah,
It's
all the
every time the same. The people don't stay on the left side. If you can't go into the right side, stay in the fucking left side. But no, he go into the right side and kill all, man. It's every...
No, speak it to English.
You don't come...
all right, they're having an argument. So yeah, what happened? Oh, who is blue? Jesus, man. So pink car started to come down, and then blue car started to come up.
Te estoy diciendo que te quedes...
And then yeah, what happened here? I just... should have gone lower faster. But that's not what we're here for. So that's the session. Yeah. Final review. This wheel's great value. It's less than $1,000 for a wheel with built like a tank, built to a Red Bull F1 standards, or design, has more buttons than any human being will ever need in their entire life, unless you actually are a professional Formula One driver. The screens are customizable. The lights are customizable. It utilizes SimHub, and for those of us who aren't good at all that at designing things for customizable, there are guys out there that just do it for you. And it's either free, or they just want a donation, or it's a pittance. And then suddenly you have dashes that do all the things you want them to do. Buttons all work. Support-wise, as I said I had a problem with one of the switches. I said, hey, can you just send me a new switch, or the new switch on that little PCB? And they're like, no, we'll just send you a whole new shifter. Okay, I'm not going to argue. I'm happy. This is was a great purchase. I can't say anything else. It was a great purchase. I highly recommend it. I hope these guys do well. That's it. Thanks. If you're still here for some reason. Hope you enjoyed. Stay safe.